Ladies and gentlemen, we are into the crunch point of the season at the top. Ourselves, Liverpool and Man City, separated by 4 points. We play both of them today. And as well as that, we are making it a triple header. We are going to be taking on in our final game, Nottingham Forest. Maybe a chance to take a couple of the youngsters from the intake and give them their first team debuts. Maybe I'm setting myself up for disappointment here, but Jay McBeam is in the first team. He's training with all the adults. I have got him available for the youth team, mind you. And I'm looking at that Forest game as maybe a chance to give the 16-year-old his first ever appearance. Now, of course, if you didn't watch until the end of yesterday's video, you missed this youth intake. It's the best we've had. Go back and watch it if you missed it. But McBeam, I think, is the ready-made article who, maybe at a stretch, can play some Premier League minutes. And I'll tell you what, speaking of yesterday's episode, there was not many fans of a certain individual. Jack Phillips raised some eyebrows, people not happy about the 40 million plus Graham Byrne. I'll be honest, I think I was clouded by just a necessity to get rid of Byrne at all costs. I think the thing I want to point out with Phillips is 15 caps for Wales already, decent goal scoring record. It's actually his potential we've signed him for. He is a 20-year-old with loads and loads of kind of, I guess, time to develop. And when you look at his actual minutes, he's not played a load of first-team football yet at a senior level. So far for us, he's been contributing. He's probably going to need to contribute today. We've got a lot of injuries. Now, since you were last here, just the one game played, and that was against West Ham United. Phillips actually turned provider in this game, and it was Cardozo with the all-important goal. I will admit, 1-0 against West Ham, not the most convincing of performances, but you know what? We got the all-important goal. Phillips got the assist as Cardozo burst through the middle. The captain leading by example. How about that for a finish? That result there does move us up to second in the league. Manchester United have now dropped down to fourth. They have played a game more than ourselves and Man City. The reality is our first game today against Man City is must win. The game after that against Liverpool, probably even more must win. The injuries really have been stacking up here, though. You can see Aguiar still out with his broken back. Ngwashi is now out for a period of time. He might be back for the later games today. David Addons, of course, was a man who I wanted to loan out at the start of this season. In the end, he's had to stick around. We've given him some minutes. He's actually started 7 games for us, but he is out for a long old time with a partially torn thigh. That does not sound pleasant, does it? Osorio Silva has been told that he doesn't need to do a fitness test, but the fact he's still got that injury flag still scares me. And another man who's flagged as having an injury but not fit enough to play is Zidane Zidane. So yeah, we are down 5 first-team players, and that is not including a couple more players in Cardozo and Victor, who have also had to do fitness tests. And yeah, I don't know. Their fitness, their condition, it's not looking very good. In fact, if I just put in our kind of, in my eyes, best 11, you can kind of see there is just condition issues across the board. Doesn't really help that we've got Man City up first. The only good news is, whilst this game is on a Wednesday, our next game away against Liverpool is also on a Wednesday. So there is at least a 7-day rest after this first game. Now, before we do head into the game today, I do want to draw your attention to some of the players that have been out on loan and some of the players in the youth team who have been developing nicely. Takayuki Nakano was a big signing, you might remember, at the end of the summer. He's actually been on loan in the Championship this year, not putting in the best of ratings, but has been improving a lot and recently broken into the Japanese national team. Of course, he's pretty young, he's still got plenty of time ahead of him, and it is good to see some green arrows. Tutor is still struggling to get minutes at Sunderland. I did weigh up recalling him in January, but actually he was starting to get a few more minutes for them. Since then, the minutes have dried up yet again. He has been improving a little bit, don't let these down arrows deceive you, but yeah, not had the loan spell I was hoping for. One man who's had a much better loan spell is Stanovenkovic, the Montenegrin striker, on loan at Stoke in League One. 15 goals in 34 games for him, but perhaps most importantly, he's actually improving quite a bit. Jacob Jones is another player having a good goal-scoring season. He was a player we snapped up as a free agent in the summer. He was released by Manchester United. We loaned him to our affiliate in Chester, and he's been firing them slowly but surely, kind of into playoff contention. They're currently down in 8th, admittedly. League 2 right now is crazily close. In terms of players that have not gone out on loan this year, of course, there was the 2 youngsters we signed from Norwich City in Justin Wright and Mark May. Justin Wright improving a lot, obviously 18 years old, only just turned 18. Loads of green arrows next to him. He is looking great. Wish his mentals were a little bit better. And Mark May was the more exciting, I think, of all the players that we signed, but unfortunately, he has had a really stinky injury. Yeah, you can see here, he's had sprained knee ligaments. I feel like he was injured before that as well. Yeah, he was. He got a moderate calf strain, was out with 5 weeks with that. And actually, when you look at it, these injuries, they keep popping up for him. Injury proneness is not something being flagged up as a con on this guy, so we're going to hope he's just got monumentally unlucky. The 18-year-old, I still feel like could be a potential first-teamer down the line. I suppose all the youngsters that we took punts on going into this season, and Dye has perhaps been the most successful, the man who we signed for, I think, the cheapest amount as well, at just shy of £1 million, has now made 5 appearances for the first team. He's been getting some minutes here and there. I feel like he's of a nice level where I can have him training with the senior team, playing some senior team games, but he can also rack up a load of minutes playing for the youth team. And to be honest, as far as centre-backs go, which is where I'm training him to play, he's looked really, really good for us. In terms of the first team, I don't really talk about him that much. We don't really think of him as a young player, but Gromman has had a sensational season. Look at the 20-year-old's development, his physicals, his mentals, even his technicals in the areas that matter, looking really, really solid. And Victor has continued to develop under the radar as well. The 19-year-old continually having green arrows. He's one of those players where his current ability is so good, I'm kind of worried he's peaking too soon and that he's just going to hit a ceiling and just stop developing at some point. But at least for now, touch wood, he's not hit that potential yet. And according to our staff, there might be a little bit more for him to achieve. Obviously, Morton, Laudrup and Ziddy really have been running the show as our strikers. Laudrup, I'm not sure has improved actually that much, but on the pitch, obviously, he has been stupendous. Ziddy has had a few issues of injuries, but I feel like when you compare these two players, the two 21-year-olds really have been the difference makers for us this year. Between them, 27 goals for Laudrup, 18 goals for Ziddy in significantly fewer games because of AFCON and those aforementioned injuries. They actually have the exact same goals per 90, which is amusing. And I will say, actually, when you look at the first team, everyone has been getting a decent number of games. There are very few players not playing that many matches for us. And in fact, with the exception of Luis Garcia and the backup goalies, it's only really Russo, who arrived in January, who's not played much. And I wasn't really expecting him to play a lot. He's available for the under-21s, and really just training with the senior team. Anyway, our first opposition today is a Manchester City team we are very, very familiar with. We know the players we have to be scared of. Shrek up top for them is probably the best striker in the game world. He is absolutely stupendous. And Stephen Fitzgerald, the Irish left winger, is another player who I'm a little fearful of. Yeah, good luck to our defence today. Now, as of late, this is what I've considered our best 11, with Cardozo actually playing a deeper role and then Victor and Osorio Silva playing in the centre mid area, just because these two guys are so good. Probably limits Cardozo's lethality, but he's still been popping up with some big moments. Unfortunately, though, when you look at the team with this best 11, there is so many players that just can't play today. Jimenez is going to have to play for us at centre-back. Because of his lack of pace, I think he can only really play in the central centre-back position for us. I need those wider centre-backs to have the pace to cover the wider areas. But in terms of just locking down things in the middle, he is superb. Now, Cardozo did pass his fitness test, so I think I'm going to risk him in this game. But Victor and Osorio Silva in the middle are slightly kind of bigger concerns. I think what we'll do is we'll bring Ryu in and play him as the deep line playmaker and then have Cardozo move into perhaps his preferred centre mid spot. And I think it might be an unlikely recalling to the first team of Blake Pearce to play at centre mid, a player who I think will be leaving us in the summer. The American has been a useful little stopgap, but with the abundance of centre mid talent we have and loads of young players developing in that part of the pitch, I do feel like his utility is slightly limited. I guess the alternative would be Simon. Simon's form's been a little bit hit and miss, but actually when we've started him in the Premier League, he has been good. I'm hoping that going into the second game against Liverpool, we will be in a better spot. Looking at things here, I think actually the American is only even going to make the bench, which is perhaps why I'm looking to sell him in the summer. Now, Ziddy is carrying an injury. I'm not going to risk him in this game, and I am going to give Phillips the nod. We've spent a lot of money on this guy. I need him to pop up in big games like this one. I mentioned it before, but, you know, in terms of the false nine role that we have been using, that has become more frequently a channel forward. At this point, I think it's only Kakayo that I'm going to ever deploy as a false nine in this part of the pitch. Doesn't mean that Phillips is going to play alongside Laudrup. And I do really like these two as a pairing. I feel like Jack Phillips, people were not keen on him. I think you have to view his potential, but in terms of current ability, I actually think he's pretty comparable to Laudrup whilst being younger. So yeah, I'm excited to see how these two do as a pairing. It's a little bit of a little than large. Laudrup has that aerial ability, whereas Phillips is going to hopefully use that agility in the wider spaces. I was told that Ziddy had failed his fitness test. I'll be honest, I don't have a striker outside of Kakayo and I guess Osorio Silva, who's also injured on the bench. So really, I'm looking at Laudrup and Phillips thinking, you guys need to perform immediately. Okay, we are at home for this first game. The next 2 games today are away from home. We need to get off to the best possible start. I mean, when you look at the team here, I hate it when players don't have full hearts for condition, but there is a fair few players here going into this game not at their best. Still do feel like it's a pretty strong team for us, but I feel like the rotation that's needed due to injury is perhaps going to be the difference maker between ourselves and Man City and potentially even Liverpool down the line. We just don't have the same squad depth as those elite teams that have much deeper money bags than us. Okay, Minambres, you have been the most hit and miss player this year. I feel like the jury is still very much out on him. I'm still remembering that Manchester United performance kind of fresh in my mind. But I'm going to give him the chance today to make himself a hero. Phillips, Cardozo and Ruiz working nicely on this right-hand side. Ruiz and Cardozo not fit. Ball's whipped in. Laudrup heads it in. I think this is going to count. The linesman's flag's not raised. He stood on the spot. The referee's peeling away. It's 1-0. I did notice last episode that Donnarumma was on loan from Man City at PSG, and I've noticed that in goal for them, they've got James Trafford, who I remember looking at one point in this save game, and he'd basically just been their second choice player for the entire save game. For whatever reason, they've decided to start him this year. Maybe he could have done better there. I wouldn't even say like he's the worst goalkeeper in the world, but just in terms of appearances, I mean, look at this. They've literally not used him at all in the save game. And then the AI has loaned out Donnarumma this year. And, I mean, the rating's not awful, I suppose. Anyway, we get our noses ahead. Immediately, I'm going to praise the players here. I want green, happy, smiley faces across the board in this one. Not been a classic so far, but I'll tell you what, Man City with a set piece. And set pieces have been a little bit hit and miss for us from a defensive point of view. Minabres comes out for it, gets half a hand onto it, doesn't deal with it. And then Altinho scores a banger. I feel like when Minambres came out for the ball here, he has to claim it. It was actually headed away by Ryu. It wasn't even the keeper who got a touch on it. The keeper was then out of position. To be fair, the shot has deflected him through traffic, but I feel like it could have been dealt with sooner. Man City are having way too much of the ball in this game. We need to mix things up a little bit. Now, because of their in-possession shape with the 2 wide players, we can't really look to press. Pressing is going to be silly, especially if we were to do it with our wider players. They're just going to leave a load of space in behind. So I think instead, actually, the plan of attack here is to shorten the passing, lower the passing. Let's make ourselves more compact as an attacking shape and also look to pass the ball to feet here. I kind of feel like you're signing your own death warrant if you're just willing to let Man City have a load of the ball. With the quality they've got on individuals, they're just going to tear us apart. So, yeah, if we can just put our foot on the ball a little bit more, value possession a little more highly, I think that would be ideal. And I do think just playing super narrow, given the gap between kind of their centre mids and their strikers, there's a big space in the middle that I think we could maybe look to exploit. And I'm actually thinking at half-time in this game, I'm just going to tell the players to focus the play through the middle. I feel like that is our best chance of kind of winning the midfield battle. All right, I'm going to tell the players I'm disappointed we've had a little possession. We need to turn it around. Into the second half we march. I'm going to hope that we can change things up and maybe get things working. I am wondering if I should maybe drop the wing-backs just a little deeper as well, actually, in possession. It's all very good kind of shortening the passing and stuff, but there are some fairly big gaps between certain positions in our team, and especially if we are looking to build out from the back like we are, we distribute to centre-backs. Just having the wing-backs drop deeper is probably sensible. Annoyingly, Ruiz has been one of our best performers on the pitch, but he is one of the players struggling the most for fitness. Obviously, the wide players frequently get subbed off and around in our kind of system just because of the ground that they cover. I think Ruiz might need to come off here. But he is in possession right now and he's pinging it forward towards Phillips. The Manchester United man back against the Manchester side, puts it on a plate. Laudrup shot is blocked. I mean, it's a great opportunity. I think that's only our second shot on target of the game. I mean, it is still 1-1 here, but I feel like at this point I have to be sensible and just rotate things a little bit. Garcia and Bordalas into the wide areas you come. Cardozo, I think, has also run his race in this one. I was told that Osorio Silva could play the match, but has got an injury, whereas Victor could play 75 minutes. I'm going to go with Victor, I think, instead, just because he's not flagged as having that injury. And I think, actually, out of possession, I'm going to move Victor forward and just play him as a central outlet attacking midfielder. I kind of want him to stand around their centre defensive mid, maybe just provide them with a little bit more in the way of competition when they are on the ball. Admittedly, maybe the outlet role is not the right one for that. We'll go with attacking midfielder instead. I'm sorry to the people who hate asymmetric systems, but I do think just having Victor stand on their 2 defensive midfielders with their 4-2-4 maybe could be a route to try and catch them out on the break. Anyway, there's still half an hour left here. Manchester City, the better team on paper, probably the better team on the grass right now as well. That's a massive save by Minapres in goal. If he was at fault for the first goal that they scored, I'll let him off for that one there. We've still got a lot of players struggling in this game. Laudrup has a goal, but is on a 7.0 rating despite that, and he's struggling for fitness. So I think this might be a good time to bring in Kakayo. He got those big goals, didn't he, against Bayern Munich? I need some more big goals from him today. I do have one sub remaining. Grommen is nervous and looking tired at the back. I'm going to bring in Soares to play that wide centre-back position. I've made all my subs now with 15 minutes left. I feel like it's down to the players on the pitch to do my bidding. That header there has only just gone wide. City nearly scoring from the corner. Little bit scary, that. You know what? 1-1, 10 minutes left. Oh, there's a temptation to go more attacking here. One thing I will say is we've actually had a very close number of total shots to Man City. Fewer on target. And whilst possession is comfortably in their favour, it has seen a fairly significant swing back in our favour since we made the changes. And I think they have limited kind of Man City's opportunities. I appreciate they've had the better chances in this game. I don't feel like they've had us penned back for large spells, although they don't have to do that, do they? If they can just have Shrek burst through the middle and score that. I switched to more attacking. I'm not even sure the change had gone through. Little bit of build-up play. Soares and Jimenez, two players who are not ordinarily in the first team, maybe responsible for that goal there. Unaware, Jimenez, that Shrek was in behind. And yeah, Man City have got that lead. I mean, I'll be honest, I went into this game knowing that to win the games today was going to be tough with the injuries, but also just the gulf in quality. But there was part of me that really hoped that maybe we could put up some kind of fight. At this point now, we have got to just go more direct with our play, haven't we? Take goal kicks long, goalie distribution, get it to the target forward. We don't really have a big man to aim for anymore, unfortunately. But we've just got to try and make something happen from nothing. There's 2 minutes left in this game. It's been a close game. I feel like there's not been a whole load of chances either way. Man City have just taken the chances that have come their way, and they've now got a corner, which scares me. I think Sula got an assist for their second goal. He's going to want another assist here, the Man City man. He whips it in. Garcia heads it away. They've got so many players committed to the attack, and having headed it away, we've not dealt with the ball. Prado, edge the box, shoots. Minabrez tips it onto the woodwork. I mean, we're still in it technically with 2.5 minutes left. The 4 minutes of added time, though, are going to come and go here. A tight game. I feel like 2-1 against Man City is not an awful result. I do feel like there is still a pretty monumental gap between ourselves and the very elite teams of the Premier League and Europe. I'll tell the players I'm proud of their performance. I mean, I don't know. I feel like we've been dealt a pretty rough hand going into the games of all the injuries, but to take the lead in this game, to be in the game until the 83rd minute, kind of sucks to find ourselves losing by a single goal. With that result there, Man City have gone above us. Admittedly, you know what? There's still a cushion to the likes of Chelsea and Newcastle behind. I'm not panicking about Champions League football with 6 games left yet. And you know what? To be fair, look, if we can beat Liverpool at Anfield, I still feel like there is a little bit of hope for us. We're going to get forward to that again. We should have a few more players fit. It doesn't get more must-win than this next one. Oh, I really want to be in a title fight to the end. Okay, folks, massive game in the context of our season. Liverpool in the league, first versus third. Worth noting, Man City have already played their 33rd game and moved 4 points clear of us. So failure to win this game here really turns the final game of today's episode against a relegation-threatened Nottingham Forest into probably a chance to just play a load of youngsters and see how they get on. Yeah, I don't want to give up the title. I want to win. Going to Anfield's never easy. I suppose the one thing going in my favour is we are in a way better spot from a fitness point of view. Unfortunately, I am going to have to rest Cardozo here. The condition level just is a problem. He's still not fully fit. Ziddy is also still coming back from injury, but can at least play 45 minutes. And when he's been fit, he's been one of our best goal scorers. Elsewhere in the team, Ngwashi is still unavailable, unfortunately. But the rest of the team does look pretty strong here. Ryu is going to come in. Jimenez locks down that spot at centre-back with Ngwashi back. And the rest of the team is probably, with the exception of Ziddy, what I would consider our best squad. Admittedly, we're arguably missing our best defender, our best midfielder, and our best attacker. Which, when you're taking on a Liverpool team that still have Florian Wirtz absolutely tearing it up, Francesco Kamada leading the attack and with a lot of goals. And that's not mentioning the £200 million man, Daniel. This guy is 26. They signed him from Villarreal. 193 million smackers. And somehow we've got to try and keep him quiet. wish me luck. Irrespective of what happens here in a snowy Merseyside, we will be doing the final game today. There is also the NXGN award, which I think will be announced in this episode, so keep your eyes peeled for that. But yes, the snow is falling down, which is a bit odd. Isn't it March? I guess it does sometimes snow in March. You know what? I'm not going to question it. Okay, into this game we go. Our season is very much on the line. If we don't win here, Liverpool are going to pull far clear for us to expect to have any hope of winning the league. We'd need them to slip up multiple times in the run-in to the end of the year, and still need Man City to slip up whilst we go flawless, which I don't think is a guarantee by any means. I think at this point we have to accept the Champions League is still the primary focus now. Of course, PSG await us in tomorrow's video. But at least through the opening 15 minutes of this game, we've not conceded. I'm going to view that as the positive. I guess the downside is we've not scored yet. Although, I mean, could that change here? Oliver bringing the ball forward, gives it wide to Ruiz, the right midfielder, cutting inside, lays it to Phillips. A little bit of fluidity here. Victor Osorio Silva, he should finish it. He does finish it. The two centre mids link up. Maybe we're not down and out yet. I'll tell you what, we really pulled the Liverpool defence just completely out of shape here. I think it was the movement of Phillips to drop deep that brought the defender forward. Osorio Silva attacked that space and a really good finish. Liverpool out of possession are playing a 4-1-4-1, which I think actually works really nicely with our distribute to centre-back instructions. And when we're going forward, we're looking pretty deadly so far in this game. There's not a lot of pressure on the wider centre-backs, with them only leaving the lone striker forward. It allows them to get wide, give the ball to players like Ruiz, and maybe help us craft an opportunity. Ruiz, Osorio Silva shoots. He already has one goal. That would have been quite the effort to go in from there. Grommen lays it wide on this near side. Sassy, I'll tell you what, Sassy had a lot of space there all of a sudden. Daniel kind of initiated a half press as the wide midfielder. And actually looking at it, Liverpool are defending fairly narrow here. They're affording a bit of time and space to our wide players. Ruiz to Osorio Silva, the goal scorer. He floats it in. Laudrup heads it. Mamardashvili had to make the save. Oliver on the near side. Liverpool, I'm noticing here, have rotated their team a little bit. They've not got all their big guns on the pitch, but they have got arguably the biggest of guns. Daniel, number 15. And that's what £200 million gets you. I'll tell you what a rip-off. That is a statement that's going to age horrifically, isn't it, if he now goes on to score in this game. 2 minutes left of the half here. Can we make something happen in extra time? We're looking good. We're looking really lively. I feel like the lone striker is just allowing us to play it out from the back our way. Our kind of wider centre-back options have the dribble more instruction on. Kind of allows them to create overloads like this one here. The ball's played in. Phillips shoots. It's saved by Mamardashvili again. And Liverpool might be lucky there's only 1-0 at the break. Half-time in this game, 1-0. I'll be honest with you, it's not been a classic, just 5 shots on target, but we're doing what we need to do. Ruiz and Sassy looking a little bit tired. Sassy's not having the best of games. It might be controversial here. I'm going to go for the double change at the break. I'm going to bring in Garcia and Bordelas just for the fresh legs. I feel like it could turn into a bit of a meme at a point, the fact that I'm always making that same change. But yeah, the lone wide players cover a ton of ground. And I do just feel like we need to mix things up here. I'm looking at things. Liverpool have moved Daniel into the striking position in this second half. Despite the fact he's now picked up a knock, he's a player we need to be wary of. Oliver wins the ball superbly, though. Now can he relieve the pressure? The dribble more instruction. Look at him go. Great ball to Phillips, who's donning his gloves. That's woke, isn't it? The number 22, the £40 million man, gives it to Garcia, into Laudrup, chops it back. It was blocked away inside the box there by the Liverpool defender. It probably should have been a goal for us. And I'm a bit worried we're going to regret missing these chances that have come our way. Liverpool have made some substitutions. It'd be really good if it told you what subs they've made, but they've brought some fresh legs on to the pitch. Vert switching the play to Fofana. Those big switches of play are dangerous against us. Banzuzi into the middle, he marches. Fofana, tight angle, tackled once by Grommen, falls to Bianco. Massive block by Jimenez in the middle. Free kick in a dangerous area. It's Florian Wirtz over it, looking to get it into a dangerous area. Whipped in, back post, headed, oh my word. What a save by Minambrez. It's not away from danger yet. Don't count our lucky stars, although maybe we can now. Bordelas has won it. There is a goal line replay here. How close was this to crossing the line? The keeper wraps his hand around it, and we were, what, centimetres away from being all square. Is it just me, or is that goal line technology thing with the camera? That might be the best part of the 3D match engine this year. They need to bring in, you know, the offside decisions with the 3D models, the freeze frame and the line drawn. I feel like that's the next logical step. Okay, 14 minutes left here. I need to make changes. Both our strikers are having absolute stinkers. Laudrup off for Ziddy. Kakayo on for Phillips. I really want to manage Gromman's minutes yet again. It's a case of who do I bring on? I think we have to bring in Suarez. Not the best centre-back in the air, but playing out on that left-hand side, I think you can get away with that as long as you're not the centre-back in the middle in our system. I'm going to hope he's got the pace and physicality to deal with Fofana in this game. I mean, really, at this point, with 10 minutes left, I would look for us to get a second goal. I feel like we're well worth it in this one, and it would just allow me to relax slightly. Ryu, wayward ball by the deep line playmaker, could allow Liverpool to break forward in, well, numbers here. Fofana plays the ball forward. It's coming down with snow on it, quite literally. It's played back by Wirtz, and Bianco scores. It's 1-1, and that is painful. There is a VAR check, though, imagine. VAR, it's been disallowed. I love VAR. Now, I think it was for the initial ball to Wirtz, I think. I'd say that. It must have been, which, annoyingly, it's not shown in the highlight. Not the best replay. I was just thinking as that goal was ruled out, you know, should I move the left back and right back deeper, or rather the left mid and right mid deeper? Obviously, it's tracking wide midfielders. They do drop deep into like a full back area, really. Do wonder if in these dying moments, maybe just a little bit of sensibility from a defensive point of view could be wise. Oliver, in possession, goes back to near Matt and Brez. Don't do anything stupid, mate. You've already made one heroic save in this game. Borderlass, down the line, Victor. There's options in the middle for Victor. Can he pick one of them out? Ziddy's there. Borderlass is arriving late. The left midfielder shoots. It's blocked. How's it not gone in? It's cleared away off the line. We recycle possession, and Liverpool, I tell you what, they've had chances. We've had chances. I don't know how there's only been one goal in this game. And now Wirtz, who was denied that assist, has a free kick. Dangerous area. 83rd minute. He shoots. He hits the crossbar. Right, you know what? Pause the game. Don't care where Victor's running with the ball. We need to be sensible. Garcia and Borderlass without the ball just drop deep and in possession. You don't need to be wingers anymore. You can just be regular wing backs rather than an advanced wing backs too. You don't need to run. We just need to hold our ground and see things out in this game. That's all I need to see. There's 4 minutes left. A win here keeps our tiny flame of hope alive that we could challenge for the title. The City defeat was disappointing. We are 2 minutes away from a massive result here, though, on the road. Garcia, time wasting in the corner. Absolutely love this shit. Take your time, mate. There is no need to rush. He gives it to Osorio Silva. Osorio Silva already has one goal, plays it to Victor. Borderlass shoots, scores. It's game over. It's 2-0. We are winning at Anfield. They might have knocked us out of the Carabao Cup earlier in the year. If I'm not mistaken, though, that is us doing now the league double over the team leading at the top of the table. Nottingham Forest might have been hoping I was going to rotate the team. Bad news for them. We are going to be playing to win. There is 1 minute left in this game. I have to assume that this is just, you know, pointless highlight, game winding me up. Nothing's going to come of things here. They need 2 goals in 50 seconds. It's just not going to happen, is it? The full-time whistle goes. Lewis 2, Liverpool 0. Victor with a duo of assists. I mean, yeah, what a performance by the young centre mid. No Cardozo, no problem. Very happy with that performance there. And all of a sudden, everyone has now played the exact same number of games. And yes, we are in third when we started in second, but we are 1 point behind Liverpool. We are 1 point behind Man City. There are 5 games left of the season. We have hope. Borderlass, by the way, on off the bench, man of the match. Maybe that was benefited by the fact he scored that goal late on. Liverpool take on Fulham next weekend on the 5th of April. We are going to be taking on Nottingham Forest. As for Man City, I don't know when they play next. It looks like they have a little bit of a break, although, and I didn't realise this, on the 19th of April, Man City play Liverpool. That might be the biggest game of the season for us, and we're not even playing in it. If you were wondering about our remaining games, we have still got Arsenal to play. We've still got Everton, Bournemouth and Aston Villa to play too. I will say, it's not the hardest games in the world, but they're not easy. And we are also still in the FA Cup, where we're in the quarter-final taking on Luton of the Championship. You'd like to think we can be competitive in that one too. Anyway, it would be the most football manager thing ever after that result there against Liverpool if we bottle it against a team in the relegation zone. We've got Nottingham Forest up next. I'm going to rest up the players, win this, and I start to dream a little bit. Okay, well, the NXGN award voting is in. We only have 1 player in it, which was a bit of a shock, but the number 1 player is our player. It is Victor. He is considered the best wonder kid in the world. I mean, how could that not be exciting? The Lewis FC man has had a crazy, crazy season. As a reminder, we signed him for £13 million. Obviously, this year, a big step up from the previous year. No denying, I think he was worth every penny we've paid for him. Now, that inbox item was from the 31st of March. I didn't notice it. There was actually an international break since the last game going into this Forest match. And during the international break, Jimenez made his first ever appearance for the Spanish national team. And I think, actually, I love this one even more. Simon made his first ever appearances for the France national team. The 29-year-old finally got called up, and he got 2 goals in his first 2 games for a player who, and I know I talk about it a lot, was just stuck in the Championship for so many years, just kind of grinding away. He's come to us, he's got his chance for the France national team. I think it's safe to say he's taken it. Now, I didn't realise we're taking on Nottingham Forest at 8 PM, and as I was going into this game, before hitting start record, I noticed this. Fulham beat Liverpool 4-3. Fulham, what are you doing? Are Liverpool bottling it? Are they bottlers? Luis Enrique's men are... I'd be panicking if I was them. It's 2 defeats in a row for them, and actually prior to us playing them, you can see they'd drawn against both Brentford and Chelsea. So, yeah, they're having a bit of a wobble. Maybe this fixture congestion catching up with them. In terms of what that result means, it means Liverpool are top of the table still, but they've now played a game more than ourselves and Man City. So, win this next game against Nottingham Forest, and, well, we will go top. Of course, though, if you've ever played Football Manager, you know, this is the kind of game against a relegation-threatened team we probably end up bottling. Good news going into this game, Ngwashi passed the fitness test, fit enough to play 75 minutes. And in terms of the rest of the team, with the exception of Addons, who is still out, we have actually got everyone back from injury. We are basically now at full strength. I know I teased earlier that I was going to play a rotated team against Nottingham Forest and maybe give the 16-year-olds from the intake appearances. Obviously, circumstances have changed. Going into this game, we have the 9th best form in the league, which is kind of shocking for us, really. Nottingham Forest are down in 14th in the form table, even further down in the league table. They need points. We need points. I'm hoping this is going to be straightforward. Ruiz with a throw-in on this near side. I tell you what, an early goal would certainly settle the nerves, wouldn't it? The number 2 gives it to Cardozo, who's got to battle away for it. Lays it to Oliver. That is a shocking pass. Chukwani through the middle. No support on his own. Questionable finish. Halfway through this first half, that breakaway chance for Forest, the only chance of the game so far. We've headed this away, but only as far as the edge of the box. Is deflected in, and my worst nightmares are coming true. I will admit, I'm actually giving the benefit of the doubt here to Minambrez that this must have deflected. It went through a lot of traffic, didn't it? It's still hard to see on the replay. I am going to change our mentality in this game to attacking early on. I don't really want to make many more changes, but I might be forced into making some more radical ones at half-time because we're not creating anything. Half-time in this game, I don't know what to tell you. I was dancing in the streets out of this game when I saw Liverpool had lost, and now we are doing the exact same against arguably an easier opponent. Right, we are going to go more direct and higher tempo in this game. We're already on an attacking mentality. I'm going to get rid of the look for the underlap instruction as well. I want us to be a bit more direct with our play here. I'm sat thinking, do I want to change any personnel? I mean, Ruiz is on a booking. I really can't afford to go down a man, and Sassi's looking worse for wear as well. Bordelas got man of the match against Liverpool, so let's put him in. I'm going to go with those 2 changes at the break, but I'm worried. I feel like that is all I'm going to say. I'm worried. Bordelas, if you want to get an assist immediately... Well, okay, it would have been nice, wouldn't it? Okay, out of possession, Nottingham Forest is set up with a centre attacking mid and a striker and a back 4. I kind of want to change things radically here. I'm going to do something that might be a little bit too risky, but I think it's worth the risk. I'm going to go to a front 3. We're going to play a Sorio Silva, Laudrup and Zidane, and then just going to move Cardozo up into the midfield to play as a midfield playmaker. When we don't have the ball, I'll ask Cardozo to drop a little deeper. But yeah, we are going to go for this now. I'm going to get rid of regroup. I'm going to raise the defensive line, and we are going to press high with that front 3 and really try and force turnovers. We've not created anything in this game. I feel like I've got to try something radically different, and I feel like we've got this abundance of attacking talent. Let's get it in the final third and just see if we can overwhelm their defence. I feel like we've got pace, we've got quality. If we score immediately, I look like a genius. If it immediately blows up in our face, I'll look like a silly little boy. Victor Laudrup scores. The change hasn't gone through yet. It is 1-1 now. I'm going to stick with the 3 up top change. I feel like we have to go and get another goal. And I know we have scored here. And Victor, by the way, with a little chest touch here is absolutely sensational. But, yeah, you know what? I'm gambling. We're going to stay on the front foot. I'm going to go and try and press home an advantage, having got 1 goal back. They're a team staring relegation down the face. We're a team that need a win. A draw is not enough here, in my eyes. We need to be winning a match like this. We're going to go for it. Laudrup over a corner. We've still got 3 changes to make if we need to. The ball's whipped in. Doesn't beat the first man. Laudrup, edge of the box, could wrap his foot around it if he wants to, the number 9. Could just go on his own. He nearly did. He shoots over. Okay, Ziddy is coming back from injuries and has had a bit of a stinker. I'm going to bring in Phillips. I'm also going to bring in, I think, Kakayo for Osorio Silva. 2 fresh legs in that wider striking area of the pitch. Cardozo's looking tired as well. I'm going to bring in Ryu just for a fresh set of defensive legs in the midfield. Demand more. I don't think we've ever had to play a 3-4-3 before. Definitely not in a live commentary, but we're chasing this game. We need something. We need anything. There's 10 minutes remaining. I know that there's a risk that we concede here. Like, we are, playing a lot more attacking. We're sacrificing a body in the midfield. But, I don't know. Forest, I feel like they'll play for the draw here. It's on us to try and break them down. Garcia to Ryu. On off the bench. Plays it forward. Phillips, another one of the subs. Gets on the play. Holds up nicely. Gives it to Victor. Shot just wide. Please, not like this. Not like this. I mean, we're having more highlights than we had before we made the tactical changes. We are definitely in the ascendancy in this game. Nottingham Forest are holding on. I feel like we're Scar and they're Simba's dad, Mufasa. It's the edge of the cliff. I'm pushing them over. Get down into the championship, Nottingham Forest. It's 2-1. There is a VAR check here. Apologies for the Lion King spoilers. The goal is going to count. And it is a massive goal. Us playing that kind of front three has worked wonders. Having Victor as well as that channel midfielder attacking into the space too. Laudrup with both goals for us. And now, unsurprisingly, we are going to go and shut down this game if we can. I guess the only issue is that Kakayo can't play centre mid. But you know what? He can learn to play centre mid. Actually, he can play right mid. That doesn't work, does it? Right, Kakayo, you are now Cardozo. Out of possession, you know what? The wing-backs can drop deeper. In possession, we'll have them start deeper too. Back on the balanced mentality we go to try and just see out this game. What a horrible game of football. Phillips, with a really massive assist out on the right-hand side, could prove crucial here. Laudrup with both goals. There's 4 minutes of added time. Nottingham Forest took the lead and then looked to hold on. We've punished them for not going for this game when they were on top. What a comeback that is. Absolutely massive result for us there that sends us top of the table. 4 games left. Man City do have a game in hand as a reminder. But as a reminder also, one of their remaining games is against Liverpool. So suddenly, maybe we still have a chance. What an absolutely crazy mixed bag this episode has been. I don't really know what to tell you. We've been shocking, we've been great, all in one kind of awful concoction. Next time out, there's no league games to look forward to. It's all about the Champo. We've got PSG home and away in the quarterfinal. And as we discussed last episode, their team is very good. Really hope you guys enjoyed the triple header today. Loads of really significant matches in our season. We rode a little bit of a storm, having lost that first game. Really great to bounce back. And the way in which we did it, kind of rather satisfying. I said it last episode, I'll say it again. If you are enjoying the series, go down below, show it some love, leave a like. We're back tomorrow with more. Until then, it's me, Jack, and I'll see you on the next one. I'm out.